That's it. We're done. We are done farming. Or are we? That's the question. So I've been doing a lot of work with building on the cabin. There's been a lot of discussion about doing a house build on this channel. So what is the future of the WTFarm Girl channel? Will there still be farming? I hate to disappoint you guys, but yes, we are still farming. We're actually farming hardcore this spring. We've got some great things coming up. So the cabin project was kind of a test run to see how you guys will like building projects on the channel. Now, a lot of you guys didn't watch the cabin building. Either because you just didn't find it interesting because it's not farming related, or because you just didn't like my on-the-fly editing style. You know, because I'm stuck at a kitchen table trying to edit. So whichever reason you had for not watching the cabin videos, please put it down below so I can take note and try to improve content for future videos. Now you guys are also wondering, are we still doing a house build project? And the answer to that is I don't have an answer. Eric is very hard to make up his mind. When he finally does make up his mind, it's boom. It's hard, it's fast, and it happens now, so you better be ready. Pretty much that's how most things have happened out here. So as we set forth to undertake our brand new dream house build for our property here, we ran into several obstacles that, well, we hadn't really considered. The first one is the area that we live in is really high in demand. We actually bought the property as an investment, but we weren't expecting it to be worth as much as it is now. So that means if we were to put a house on it, like a real house, it's gonna be worth probably 2 to 3 times more than what it is now. Which also means our taxes are gonna be 2 to 3 times what they are now. You know, when we're old and gray, do we really wanna pay that much in taxes? That's where it gets a little tricky. It doesn't matter what size of house or how many bedrooms to a certain degree, just putting a house out here drives the value up. Because the housing market in this area is so overinflated. I mean, you could have what would be a $200,000 house in any other area. It would be worth $400,000 out here. And I'm not exaggerating. So that's what they would base the property tax off. You can spend $200,000 in material. They're gonna list it as a $400,000 house, and that's what your property tax is gonna be. So that's kind of been a sticky area for us. On the counter end, the property will be worth a lot more even 20 years from now. A lot more. The second obstacle we've been facing, as many of you have noticed, building materials are through the roof, like sky high. So the cost to build a house, even if we did it ourselves, is still going to be astronomically more than, say, last year. Will the prices come down? It's hard to say. Everybody's wondering that same question. Will the prices drop? And when? Nobody can answer that. So I ask for your patience in that regard as we try to figure out and work with a couple different builders to see where we can get the price at. Once we have something finalized, then we will let you know. And for those of you who are concerned that we can't put a house with a walkout basement here, this is where the house is gonna go. And this is the hill that would have the walkout basement. There's plenty of room for walkout basement. Like, it's perfect. We planned this long ago, so don't worry about that. Lastly, as far as farming goes, there is going to be a lot of farming going on. There's so many exciting projects coming up and some really cool products that I'm going to try out for you guys. And I have something completely life-changing that's going to be coming to the farm. I think it's actually coming this week, and you guys will get to find out next week. And it is going to overhaul how we function out here on this farm. Hands down, this is the most exciting announcement on this channel that we've ever done. So you definitely don't want to miss that video coming up, again, probably next week. For farming projects, I have to get collecting manure, I have to spread manure, I also have to plant the hay fields, oversee them. I have to service equipment, and of course there's going to be lots of haymaking. I may get out and do some work in the woods. We're probably going to be digging some ditches, probably digging out some ponds. Lots of real exciting stuff. And if we manage to build a house, Eric's actually talking about digging the basement out ourselves. So we'll see how that goes. So here's my problem. Based off your response to my cabin videos right here, I'm debating about putting the build on a secondary channel. So you guys need to decide, do you want the house build on this channel here, or would you like to see it on a new channel strictly devoted just for building the house? But that way it kind of keeps the two separate if that's what you want. Now, if you want to see the build on this channel, you don't want to put it on a second channel, put it in the comments down below. But ultimately, you guys are the ones watching it. So what would you like to see? Let me know. I'm not sure how often they would be uploaded, because I'd obviously... Come on, Carl, way to ruin the moment. Dirty dog. I will do my best to have certain days that videos come out on, but it just depends on... Yeah. Alright, so lastly, I know a lot of you guys are upset about the fact that our equipment sits outside. Again, most people have the luxury of having dozens of barns on their property because their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents put all the work in to build it for them. Unfortunately, we don't have any room in our one barn to store everything. Our barn holds hay. It's also where we work on equipment. It's where we store the tools, and it's supposed to be where I store the horses, but that hasn't happened yet. It's been full of equipment. So why don't we just build one? Well, the biggest issue is, where do we put it? We have a lot of rolling land out here. This actually, Eric flattened this whole area out. You can see that big dip right here. Eventually we'd like to make all that back into a hayfield. That was a hayfield, now it's equipment storage. We've had talk about putting it right here where the horse trailer is, maybe putting a three-sided shelter there. That's a possibility too. There's also been discussion about putting an area right here off the back end of this barn. So right here would make sense. We're not really using this area. The downside, of course, is we will lose access to this door. This door we use to store stuff in. We drive it in. Right now, all of my wood is right there. We also use it to access the hay in the hayloft sometimes too. So it's kind of another catch-22. Another idea I had was to put a three-sided shelter right along this fence right here. And it'd come from like right here and go all the way down to, say, like right down there. The area's already pretty flat. It would just kind of butt up gently in front of that fence. The downside, of course, is it's not going to hold a lot of equipment. And this is Eric's race car track that someday I guess he's going to finish, but I'm not sure when that will happen. Or maybe we store hay in there and then we store the equipment in the barn instead. Either way, we need to store hay, we need to store equipment. And as much as we've tried to plan for expansion over the years, sometimes you just look at something and say, that's not the best place we could have put that, but I'm not going to move a giant $30,000 pole barn. At one point, there'd even been a discussion about adding on to this area and making this hay storage, or making this a sugar shack. But then Eric wanted to go through and move this entire fence inward 15 feet. And then it goes from simply building something to moving stuff, reconstructing stuff, and it just gets complicated. Why does it have to be so complicated? And on the back of the barn, we have the horse arena, and we have the cow pasture. We've got a little tiny area between. It might get turned into more arena, I'm not sure. All right guys, well I hope that's answered at least a few of your questions, and definitely put your feedback down below. Also stay tuned for the upcoming videos of the really amazing thing that we are getting for the farm. Don't want to miss it. I'm so excited. Thanks so much guys for watching. Thanks for being patient. I am still gonna work on my cabin video until that's done, because I'm working on my cabin. Because that way, hopefully I can make better videos for you, because I won't be as distracted. Love you guys. Take care. And until next time, see you then. Bye.